Max is back. I was going to put Max is back. You see yourself there, Joe? We are the technology deprived old guys. That's what we are. Nothing more than that. There's Dr. V. I'm me, Mark. That's Joe, Dr. V, Joe the man, Volpicelli, back as Max Headroom. And sometimes you just got to have Max. It's the way we used to all communicate back in the old days. Great TV show back in the 90s. The problem is that ever since my phone quote unquote upgraded to this new 7.0 UI 1 something, I can't bring third parties in on our stream. It's really sad. But so I have to do it this way, the old way where we kind of go this way. And there's Dr. V. We're rocking. We're ready to go. Let's start talking about what's happening.
A nice monitor, Mark.
You like it?
That's a nice monitor.
You look great on it. I'm telling you. We may do this all the time. You're happier on this.
The whole screen.
Yeah.
That's great.
We may do this next time. Just do it this way all the time. You may like it better.
This way.
What do you think? You like it better this way?
I like it better this way.
It's too much. Wow. Okay, let's talk about what's going on here. The economy is in real trouble. The U.S. economy is in real trouble. Today, interest rates spiked. Now, let's talk about what's been going on. We have been saying since December and then into January, talking about the sales of the medicine cabinet, the infamous medicine cabinet sale, that prices were going up and interest rates were going to keep going up. And if not, they were going to stay the same. They weren't going to go down. Now, for 2 years, I have videos up on Just an American Citizen. And then for the last year, it's been with Joe, me, and Dr. V talking about how interest rates are going to go up, how they can't go down. They bounced off the bottom and they're going to be going up. Well, today they exploded. It was a spike. Let's talk about this, Dr. V. For the longest time, it's been the 30-year, which is very important, which is you get the loan, you get a U.S. bond, they'll pay interest for 30 years. 30 years never went over 5%, kind of went up and was always touching it, but could never go through it. And was like 4.5 or thereabouts. Today, it blew through it and went to 5.06. 5.06 today. The 10-year, which was never going over 4.5, is now at 4.56. Which means they have blown out of their trading range. You know, where it goes down a little and up, and it'll just kind of go like this for the longest time. That's what it's been doing. So now interest rates have exploded up today. Let's look at why. There's a whole lot of reasons why. We've been talking. Go ahead,
Mark,
please.
You say exploded. It went from 4.5 to 4.56.
No, I'm sorry. It went from like today, the other day it was like 4.4. It never would go over 4.5. So if it ever got up there, it would get up to like 4.9 and then it would go back down to like 4.4. And you were getting these kind of trade for the longest time, which people said was good. It was stability. You know what I'm saying? People are going, I'm not worried. It was going that way. The 30-year never went over 5%. Okay, today they both, I think the 30-year or this one today is the first time since 2023 that we've had interest rates this high. Okay, I'm not sure it's the 30 or the 10-year, but it's all, mortgages have gone over 7%. So it's all about where we are going. Okay, Gonzalez, how are you, babe? It's all about where we were going. Juice World. Who knows? Or five, we'll see. So we're all going. What's happening is the economy is tanking, and it's coming in at the time we talked about it. So let's kind of talk about it. Just back in December, January, we said it's going to take about when the tariffs. We saw the tariffs coming. We said interest rates are going to still keep going up, and saw prices going up, and said, here's what's going to happen over the next 5 months or so. Prices are going to start going up, interest rates are going to stay at the top end, and inflation will probably start picking up. And we stuck with it. Talking May, June. Here we are, end of May, starting to get into June, Memorial Day, and what do we have? We have incredible interest rates going up. We have on the West Coast, 25% of the shipping has dropped off that normally comes in. You have small businesses already out talking, as we talked before, to bankruptcy attorneys. If you go out to restaurants now, in a whole lot of areas, you're going to find it's just not that hard to get in a normal restaurant. And why? Because people are getting nervous. And why are people getting nervous? Because what's a major driver of this interest rate right now is that the budget deficit is going up like about $4 trillion on top of where it already was. The budget deficit. And what happens is the budget deficit, our budget gets funded by third parties, by others who invest in our bonds, by others who invest in our bills and stuff. Those people look at what we've got and they go, wow, how much do we want in interest? If we're going to buy their bonds, what do we want to get paid in interest for? As they see that that prices are going up and that our value of our dollar is going to go down because the deficit is going up so much and so quickly, they start demanding higher interest rates. And that's what's going on. And as boring as it all sounds, the bottom line is, and I've been hard about this also before, the bond market runs everything. The stock market doesn't do anything. The stock market will go up one day. What was it, down 800 today? Who cares? It'll go down 800, it'll go up 800. It doesn't mean anything. That gets manipulated all the time. The bond market can be manipulated, but it's a different manipulation. It's not like a local manipulation. Now in the world, people are saying, this is what we think your dollar is worth. This is what we think your economy is worth. This is how much money we want to give you and how much interest we want. So our interest rates are going up. Prices are going up. What does that mean? The economy is slowing down, starting to pick up steam as it's going down. Because everybody's nervous, except the rich people. The rich people are okay because they'll come out fine. I mean, if you look at this bill that's before the House and the Senate, most of the money goes to the rich people. That's going to be the $4 trillion. Have you seen that? Go ahead.
People anticipating this bill passing? Is that the issue?
They're seeing a $4 trillion deficit. The bond market is seeing a $4 trillion deficit. And what's happening is the MAGAs and Trump are saying, oh, it's not a deficit. It's really just something else. And you can't call it a deficit because the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, always is impartial. It'll take on a Republican as quickly as it'll take on a Democrat because these are people just come in and say, these are the numbers. This is what it's going to cost if you pass this budget. And that's what all the Congress has used it for so long. Well, they're coming out, at least this looks like it's going to be, from what people are saying, $4 trillion. $4 trillion in a deficit. Now, remember this too. They're saying, oh man, we're going to have no no taxes on tips. Isn't that great? You think that's great? Well, let me tell you what's great about it, Joe. It's a deduction. How many waiters and waitresses do you think itemize their income tax forms? So if
it's a deduction?
It's a deduction.
What?
Yeah.
Does it mean after you meet?
I don't know. I think it'll just come off the top. I think it'll just come off the top. So if you make $100 and you get a tip of $10, then the $10, whatever the tax is, will be separate than the $100 you get paid. But you have to deduct it. You're going to have to. It's not like you still have to go into there and file your IRS returns and sit down and go, here it is. Who wants to do that? You're not going to do that. You're out hustling. You're hustling. So I don't see how that really helps people. It just looks good, but you're hustling. It's just things like that. When I say hustle, you're hustling for a buck. And how are you going to be able to do something like this and sit down with your IRS form and really get what you need? It means you got to carry it, keep everything. Oh man, it's like craziness. And it's I don't know how this kind. And now look at this. We've been talking farmers. Farmers are just hanging on right now. Farmers can't sell out. Nobody will buy their stuff outside the country. Like I said, with Britain, we did this deal. Remember, we talked about this before. They did the deal with Britain, and it was going to be 10%, and Britain was going to take our meat and chicken. They're not taking our meat and chicken because they say you can't chlorinate it. We chlorinate it before we eat it. They go, we don't want it with chlorinated. Therefore, we're not taking your meat and chicken. Great deal, President Trump. Great deal. It really worked out, didn't it, Joe? It really rocked. So what people are seeing on the outside, what the money people are seeing from around the world, is that everything we are being fed by the Trump administration is just total jive. The tariffs, let's use another example. Didn't he get mad at Walmart for passing on the tariffs? Joe, did he get mad at what he said, don't you pass on the tariffs?
We did.
Well,
So he told them to eat the tariffs.
Well, let me ask you something. Didn't he say that the other countries are paying the tariffs?
Oops.
Whoops.
Oops.
Oops. You know something, Joe? I kind of like this a little better. Oops. It's like, right. Wait a second, Mr. President. If we're not paying for it, how do they have to eat it? They don't have to eat it. We're not paying for it because it's the BS that's going out there. Look at what happened out in the Middle East. That was all to put money in him and his family's pockets and his buddies' pockets. What did the United States get out of that? What did the Spartacus love you, baby? What did the United States? How do you like our new layout with Max? Max is back. Max Headroom. So have the United States, what did the United States get out of all this? Well, we got a plane that the Qataris were trying to give away to other people that Senator Mullen, Mark Wayne Mullen, said that the Biden was trying to get it, was that they were offering it to Biden. Well, if that's true, then what was the gift to Trump? And at the same time, now what we're going to have to pay? $500 million to rip it out so that Trump can have it when he leaves office? So that's nothing to the United States. Many of the deals that the Saudis and the Qataris and the UAE say that they were going to do here, they already said they were going to do. They already said they were going to put this money in. But what happened?
I thought this was the best trip in the history of mankind.
It was because Trump's company got, I think it was like $2 billion. His company, the Qataris or the UAE, are buying $2 billion of this like meme, not his meme coin, another crypto coin, stable coin that they've got, that his company makes all this money on trading it, buy, sell, whatever the money is behind it. He makes his money there. You got Melania making $40 million from Amazon. You got Trump and these meme coins making millions, and then when he said, if you own my meme coins, I'll let you come to Mar-a-Lago and we'll have dinner, and if you buy more meme coins, I'll let you go to D.C. Most of the buyers were foreigners, foreign buyers buying influence with Trump. Trump puts that money in his pocket. How about the billions that his kids are making with this company, his and Litnick? I think it's Litnick, or if it's not Litnick, it's the other one, either Negotiator or the Department of Commerce. His son has a deal with the Trump kids where they have this new crypto company and they're getting funded by like the UAE and everybody. Oh yeah, it was a great deal. And to sit here and say this isn't graft, and they go, well, Hunter Biden was a drug addict, and nobody ever proved anything about money going anywhere except what he did and the money he made for himself. There wasn't money made by the President of the United States. There wasn't money made by all the family members like this. I mean, I remember Jimmy Carter? He had a brother named Billy, and he had Billy Beer. Remember, he loved that beer. He got in big trouble over the Billy Beer. I mean, right, remember? I mean, crazy. And so the Trumps are putting billions of dollars, or at least hundreds of millions of dollars in their pockets, and nobody cares. That's nothing for the United States. So the United States basically got nothing out of the Middle East, while at the same time, who got everything? Putin. because Trump just rolls over to Putin. He says, I got a yellow line. Remember when Obama had that red line with Syria? And he said, if you go over it, I'm going to take you on. And Syria went over it. He did nothing. Well, Trump kept talking about Vlad, stop his little red line. And Vlad keeps going over the red line because Trump's afraid of him. This is Trump's Afghanistan. But he talks a lot because what he does is he tries to change the subject. He doesn't try. The man is incredible. He changes the subject so that you're thinking about something else. He doesn't want you looking at Ukraine and knowing he's losing there. Remember how many times he come in and say he's going to get it done? He's getting nothing done. Now they're saying they're leaving while the Ukrainians are getting smashed. What's he doing in Gaza? Nothing.
So he was going to end the war on day one, month one. When is he going to end the war?
I don't know. One day.
One day
he'll end the war. So you got that. You got it in the Middle East. You started with Israel and all that stuff. You don't see him doing it. He got one hostage out. You got all those other hostages. He says he gets all the hostages out. It's really amazing. And then the best part is you listen to Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, who I got to believe knows better than this. And he's sitting there and they're talking about, the tariffs and all that, but they get into the plane and they go, well, the plane is like the Statue of Liberty. We got the Statue of Liberty from France. It's just like the plane. Let me ask you. Who was? I think it was President Grant. It was the Congress passed a resolution accepting it and thanking it. And I think it was during President Grant's administration. I think it was right after President Grant they gave it to us. And I don't think President Grant took the Statue of Liberty home with him. Or whoever had it there. Whoever the president. If I'm wrong about the president, I don't remember him taking it home with him. Where Trump wants us to put hundreds of millions of dollars into this plane so he can have some big time plane to cruise around and put Trump Air on it. It isn't going to say USA. And at the same time, he'll be cruising around in Air Force One. Ventome, good seeing you, my friend. We like everybody. So you have that. So when you're looking at this, where is the economy going? It's only going down. Interest rates are going up. Have you? I know you don't like going out that much because you're smart. You see, Dr. V, that's why he's so rich. Dr. V just saves the cash. He gets the kids to bring in the food, the subs and stuff. He knows how to. I love Dr. V. I can't tell you how much I love Dr. V. I can't put it into words how much I love Dr. V. He knows I love going to his house. I just sit down and have a great time with him. So bottom line is, we go out because we have like areas, we live in the city. We cruise around. You can see the restaurants are slowing down a bit, Dr. V. You can some people are doing it, some aren't. And it seems like in the more expensive areas, people are doing pretty well. But when you're looking at this and you have interest rates going up, let's take it to the next step. What has been my biggest moaning I've been moaning about for the last 5 months? Housing. If interest rates are going up, how are you going to buy a house? You can't buy a house. So what happens? The landlords who own all the rental stuff are raising the rents. Why? Because they don't have any competition. There's nobody buying, so you can't go and buy, and you're not in a position to go and buy, and all you can do is rent, and you're happy renting. They're just going to raise you every year. And the big boys make the money, and they say that the big boys only own a certain percent, but something doesn't seem right when they talk that way. The big boys own chunks of it. All these people own all this. And what are regular people getting? Nothing. So you can't buy a house. Look what's going on under Trump. Prices are going up. The economy is going down. Interest rates are going up. So who makes money when interest rates go up, Dr. V?
Who makes the money?
Banks. And because it's a lag behind, and people who have money, who have cash, because they can leave their cash in the bank where they never could get it before, where they can leave and I say the bank, wherever, mutual fund, whatever, you leave your cash in there.
Short-term rates go up, that's good for me.
That's what I said. Oh, there he is. I told you, this guy knows what's happening. I'm the dummy. He's the smart one. I'm the one who goes out and spends my money on the food. So we sit there and so, I'm sorry, so interest rates are going up, so you can get money if you have cash, but how are you going to buy a house if it's well over 7%? Prices haven't dropped everywhere. Sales are down. Housing isn't going up. There aren't that many holes in the ground going in. So if you have no housing going on and you have interest rates going up, do you think that people should turn around and get a credit card with a home equity loan on that credit card with interest rates going up? Kim Jong-un. Potato Man, Sam, I don't look that good. It's Mr. Potato Man. That's yeah. Thank you, Kevin. He's taking up for us. I don't look like Mr. Potato Man, and neither do you, Joe. You look like Phi Eppers. But look what happens. I've been yelling about this thing, and everybody like goes, "Oh, Mark, that's funny." If you see these ads on TV, this is what's worrying me. As the economy gets bad, people are going to get smashed because of all this credit. You've got Visa cards you're paying 25% on. 25%. Think about that. So if you go out and you get another credit card and you see these ads, and they call them HELOCs, home equity loans, basically. There's different kinds, but just call me HELOC, a home equity loan, where they say to you, go out, get this credit card, and you can borrow against your house. And if you, terrible. And if you borrow against your house, you'll get hotel points. If you borrow against your house, you'll get travel points. It'll be so easy. All you have to do is call them up. And Jeff, how are you guys? Give us some thumbs up. There aren't too many, but we're talking about, I want you to share this to people, I hope, because we're on this thing. So here you're out there, and you're going to get this home equity loan, and you're going to take this credit card, and you're going to go down to get a massage. You'll pay $150 for a massage. You'll pay this and that, and all of a sudden interest rates start going up. Home equity loans, I haven't looked at that credit card, but I got to bet, Dr. V, that it's not a set interest rate. I got to bet that interest rate is adjustable and it won't go down. It'll only go up. And for all we know, it's a teaser rate. What's a teaser rate? When they give you a cheaper rate originally. For all we know, it's a teaser rate and they raise it right away. So you're putting your house up on a credit card in a bad economy that's going down, that you got a president saying only buy $2. Think about this. If the president is telling you that things are so bad that you can only get $2, you're going to put up your house to go on a trip, to hop on the plane, to get points on your airplane? How about what happens when they knock on your door? Remember, a HELOC is your house. It's not a regular credit card that's unsecured. Unsecured means they have to sue you to get the money. And then they have to find things that you own to get the money. Okay? But a house is different. Every country, every state's different about what they do on foreclosure and how it works and what lenders have to do. Don't do this. You can lose your house. You can lose your house. Why would you want to put yourself in a position right now with the economy going down, interest rates spiking, and everybody sticking their heads in the ground like they're ostriches? Like they're ostriches. I've seen this so many times in the years I've been around. And yes, I have orbited the sun many, many times, and so has Dr. V. And you sit there and you've seen it, and you're in that business. You start seeing when people get in trouble. And that's what's going to happen here, Dr. V. I mean, you tell me. I mean, you think everything's great out there, Dr. V?
I'll be curious to see, for people who are watching the stream, if they feel that the economy is going bad. My sense is that the direction is not good, but the economy is not in terrible shape right now.
Correct.
That the interest rates are creeping up a little bit, prices are creeping up a little bit, but it could still go the other way. And, I've seen so many times where we would say, this is it for Trump. This is it. He's done it this time. He says something about grabbing women's crotches, so he's going to do poorly in the election, and he gets past that. Many times he talks to Zelensky and has a conversation. He's going to get impeached for that. Doesn't get impeached for that.
He's the man. He's the man. He's the man.
The report comes out and we find out all the nefarious things he's done. He's going to get impeached. And he's been able to dodge the bullet every single time. So is it possible he's going to dodge this bullet again?
But I think,
which has, by all indications, looks like it's going to go down the tubes. Is he going to be able to pull it out where it doesn't?
Okay.
That's my question.
I like your question, and let's look at history, okay? It's a great question. Trump has always, his businesses have always gone bankrupt. He's always gotten out of it, hasn't he? How many times Trump meat, Trump liquors, Trump University, he destroyed Atlantic City when he went in there and put all that money in and then yanked it. It has his name on everything. Trump always got out. His companies always, how about Trump Airlines? Didn't he buy U.S. Eastern Air or something, the shuttle between New York and D.C.? He always, his businesses, except for his building business, always went under. Almost. So many of them went under, but he always got out because he's the greatest at getting out. Because it's easy for him. It's just money. It's just a number. Now we're looking at this. He figures, hey, now I'm running the biggest company in the world. I can make a whole lot of money. He's going to come out of it okay, Joe. He is going to come out of it okay. His family is going to come out of it okay. The question is, will America come out of it okay? I don't think so, because what he has done is he has destroyed. We were the greatest country in the world, the biggest economy. Everybody used our dollar. Everybody bought our bonds. Interest rates were low. This guy comes in and starts. Let me show you something. It's really like this simple. He's very upfront about it. He said he wants. Oh, I'm sorry. He said he wants to destroy, and change everything and destroy it, right, and turn it around. Well, this was our economy. You see, everybody was smiling. But what he did was he came in. And he Humpty Dumped her, and then he comes in and says, see, I'm putting it back together. And it's going to be even better because, see, this goes in here and this goes in here, and we're still smiling. Thought I'd give us some videos.
So what you're saying is, he's managed to overcome all these big challenges. He's been able to skirt disaster. But the people with the egg on their face, so to speak, are the people around him. The Giulianis, all these people who wound up going to jail for January 6th. That the people around him wind up paying the cost. But he manages to skirt by.
Well, he helps them.
That's a superhero strength. He's able to deflect blame onto other people.
Bill of Rights, we love you, John. I'm happy you love Trump. We love America. I hope you love America too. I'm sure you do. And the issue here is that Trump doesn't care about America. What did he do? What has he done for America? I'm waiting. I hear he shakes up the Middle East. So he's shaking it up. He shook up this egg also. Man, eggs are so expensive. My wife's going to kill me for destroying that egg. So he did that. What has he really done? He has destroyed our economy. It can't go back to what it was. The only people who are making money are people who make money, people who have money. The people who pay millions to him. Look at Elon Musk. He got quiet. He's smart. He's on these trips. He's making billions with these trades for SpaceX and all this kind of stuff. Nobody cares because the rich guys get away with it. And people go, yeah, let's do it to the libs. And yeah, let's do it to this. And you're not doing it to anybody but America. And it's America that gets hurt. Pal's not playing politics, Tim. He did the same stuff with Biden he did here. Wait a second.
People to the table to have to negotiate.
That's right. Wait a second. Tim, you're misunderstanding. The Fed Reserve can only do two things. Can only deal with inflation, really just try to keep the economy stable, and unemployment. That's their job, no more than that. And they can only do it with short-term rates, not long-term rates, stuff that's less than a year. The rates that are exploding are long-term rates. They're the 10-year rate. They're the 30-year. Listen to me on this, Tim. Really, I understand you have a good question, but understand it. That's the rate. Those are the rates that are going up. And those rates are determined by other countries who buy our bonds and decide if they want to buy them and what they want for interest on them. That's what it is. So Pal's got nothing to do with that. That is simply where we are right now. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Well,
John, you're not paying. If you didn't listen to me, John, you're not paying attention. Go ahead.
Long-term interest rates really depend on how much money we need to pay people so they'll lend us money.
Correct.
And if they lost confidence in us, then we're gonna have to pay them a higher interest rate.
Which is happening now. It spiked today.
That could be really disastrous because as our deficit grows, we're gonna have to borrow more and more money at a higher rate, which is gonna put further pressure on the deficit. So it's gonna go higher and higher.
Exactly.
And all this conversation in Congress now about this big, beautiful bill is only going to increase.
Exactly. Exactly.
People who are watching us on this stream, my question is, are you willing to have tax cuts for rich people? In the meantime, you're hurting poor people. He's going to cut for poor people. But even more importantly, or maybe just as important, is that by increasing the deficit, you're going to fall further and further behind in terms of trying to pay off that deficit. And that's going to put further pressure to drive the long-term interest rates even higher. Is that what you're saying, Mark?
Right. And the point you're making, which is that as we retire these bonds and bills that we had at much lower interest rates, okay, we retire them because say maybe the 10 years have run or whatever. Now, instead of getting them at 2%, which we were able to do before, now we're going to have to pay 4.5%, 5%. What a difference. And think what that does to the deficit. That just makes it bigger. You're right on there, Joe. That just makes it bigger and bigger. Brian, I just drink water, man. I like Diet Coke too. I haven't had much else to drink. I don't know about you. So, but that's what we're talking about. So guys, tell us where we're wrong here. I'm trying to explain it. I'm happy it's not major today, and because we had some real technical problems the last 2 times, and today we've overcome one of them, and I kind of like it this way. But if you look at it, what are we saying that's incorrect? Instead of just saying, hey, you're wrong, hey, you're right, hey here, hey there. Excuse me. Tell me what we're saying that's incorrect. Thank you for the hearts. We're here for Americans, man. This has nothing to do with liberals or MAGAs or middle of the road. This has to do with America. We were the biggest, the hegemon. Everybody watched out for us. People didn't have to kiss our ass. They liked dealing with us. We had friends, we had allies. Now we don't, so these people don't feel the need to help our bonds along. These people don't feel the need to maybe deal with our central bank the way they all used to do in the old days, not the old days, years ago when there were real problems internationally. I mean, they may deal with it, but now people aren't going to work together because you've got a country that's saying, kiss my butt, I'm going to charge you more, and it doesn't matter. And I don't care if you're my friend or not. Remember, everybody's paying now 12.5% tariffs already before anything is on top of it. And I don't hear any new deals. Do you hear any new deals? The only new deals I hear are money going into Trump's pocket. Those are the only new deals I hear. I don't hear any new deals. FDR had a new deal. All I hear is the sounds of silence. You know, the sounds of silence is a really good song, but it means nothing but it says it all when you're talking to Trump and all them, because with all that noise, it's silent behind them because you hear nothing but destruction starting to come down as the walls of America start falling in our economy. We're not going to crush, but this is going to be a really bad economic problem. And if you don't think so, fine, come back to us in 3 months when you're looking for a job or when you're hoping you can find something that you wanted to buy before, be like Home Depot. Home Depot, did you see they said they're not going to pass it on, Dr. V? They're not going to pass on the increases, but they also say, well, you're not going to find certain things on the shelves that you used to find anymore. And there may be certain things we have to raise prices on depending on what happens. So they're all dealing with it. It's here, man. You want to talk about inflation? Forget the eggs. It's everything else. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead, babe. Name one going to Trump's pocket. One, the memes. Those meme coins are Trump meme coins. And then you have, that's one, John. How about his wife making $40 million from Amazon? That's $40 million. Okay, how about his son starting this big crypto company that the UAE and everybody's putting $2 billion into? That's billions. That's all going into Trump's pocket. What are you talking about? It's right there. He doesn't deny it. He's proud of it. That's what you're missing. He's going, yeah. Yeah, right on. He's not saying, my gosh, I'm worried about ethics. He's saying, I can do it because I want to do it. That's what he's saying. I'm going to take this $400 million airplane. I'm going to make the United States put $400 million more dollars into it, and I'm going to take it home. Let me ask you something. John, you taking anything home? Yes, you see, here we go. Now it's TDS. You see that, Joe? I love it. When you can't respond with facts, right? Isn't that sad? We were glad to have you here, John. Show us where, and Spartacus is right, there are these Trump towers going up in like 3 different countries in the Middle East. Come on.
I'm very interested in having a debate about this. And if, instead of just saying TDS, explain to us how we're wrong.
Right.
I think Mark may be over-exaggerating the big spike in interest rates.
Oh, you're crazy. It's not over-exaggeration. It's a major spike.
That's definitely happening.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to
In the
him.
long term, I agree that it could create one of these vicious cycles where, as we get further behind in our deficit, the interest rates go up, which puts us further behind in our deficit. That's how you create an addiction, where you get addicted to things, where you get further and further behind, and you can never catch up.
We're already
That's
addicted.
what I worry about the economy. So there's plenty of warning signs, but I think it's not too late to turn things around.
Too late, baby. It ain't even close. It's already turned major. When you're breaking through numbers and interest rate tops that have been there for years, and you're suddenly hitting bigger numbers and they're just going up, there's nothing you can do about it. Unless you take, that's going to work. Unless you're going to take back all the tariffs and go back to where it was and say, sorry guys, we shouldn't have been such schmoes to you. And it's not going to work that way because you have no friends anymore. You have no allies anymore. You have people who don't trust you. Nobody likes you. They start thinking we're no different than China. They start thinking we're no different than Russia. They see him just sitting there kissing Putin's tuchus, doing nothing but kissing Putin's tuchus. He's afraid of him. It's his Afghanistan. And you sit there and the rest of the world saying, why is America any better? Why would I want to deal with them? They're no different than the Chinese. They're no different than the Russians. I might as well do a deal with them. What do I care? And that's what's killing it. That's 80 years of being the greatest country in the world. 80 years of having some type of a moral spine where we would be wrong, but we would admit it and deal with it and get better and better and greater and greater and greater. 80 years when people came to us to use the dollar. 80 years when people came to us to help to lead democracy. 80 years when people came to us to help them. 80 years and we threw it down the toilet. Trump, that ain't TDS. That's fact. That's fact. Fought World War II, ended up being the biggest waste of time. Listen to J.D. Vance. This guy is like lost. Okay, Mr. Yale, just smooth as his little beard, but he doesn't like anybody. He doesn't like anything. I've never seen anything like this, but this is Trump. This is where we are. As long as the money is going in to Trump and his family's pockets, that's all that matters. Tell me, John, what has he given us? Short-term pain. John, what's short-term? Is 3 years short-term? We just started the pain, and the pain hasn't started yet. There's no short-term pain. Remember, John, the only people who are going to have short-term pain are poorer people and middle-class people. It's going to be the rich people that are going to be coming in, and they're going to say, broken egg. How can I get a piece of this broken egg for myself? And that's what's going to happen. So the short-term pain is going to turn into longer-term pain for people. Have you seen, there was this big article in the Journal a couple of days ago. They can't even fill all the factory jobs we have here, Joe. Did you know that? We have open factory jobs in America. They can't fill them. And then, of course, when they build these fabs that they're already starting to do, which they had already promised to do before, they're just going to have robots in there, and the robots are going to run everything. So what are we getting out of all this? What is the United States of America? What are the regular people? What are the good people of the United States of America? Everybody's good people. I say good people, all of us. What are we as a country good getting out of this? What? What? John, what's the gain? You want to talk about short term? Everybody's glad to take pain. What's the gain? Here we go. Propaganda. John, it wasn't propaganda today. Interest rates skied. Feel free to go into CNBC. CNBC, the business channel, where all the rich guys go. Go on there and see why they were afraid. Because interest rates, they used that word that I used. It just kind of kaboom. And nobody is there. They don't know what they're going to do about it. And they're bummed and they're worried. And that's what's going on. So, John, you say propaganda. I say facts. You're not dealing with facts. It's like a bummer. It really bums me out, Joe. And, John, I think you're probably a good person. Deal with us with facts. Don't just throw jive out there.
I agree. We should all stick to facts.
Right.
We call balls and strikes accurately.
Right.
And it is the fact that interest rates have crept up. I wouldn't say they spiked, but they have crept up. And that's a really bad predictor. That's a really bad sign.
They spiked.
Now, it could be they go down next week.
They're not. They can go down, but they're not going to go down to where they were. Remember, when it goes up like this, and it goes up like this, and it goes up like this, a higher low, it stays there. It just works its way up.
Until it starts coming down.
Okay, but let me tell you something. Right on. But for 2 years, I've been saying it ain't going to happen. For 2 years, I've been saying that's what's going to happen. And I've been right for 2 years. They can go into Just American Citizen, look at my interest rate calls there, and say, Mark, you were right. I said then, and I've been right. Look, if you want to say suddenly I'm going to be wrong, feel free. Fantasy football guys know how to work the odds. Guys who do it at 2 a.m. and look at MMA and figure they're going to see different action, they can change it in the middle of the night. Right on. Problem is, I'm saying I'm going with my record. My record is hot right now, and it's been for 2 years, Joe. And now with this interest rate spike, watch CNBC tonight, read the Journal, and see what it says. They're going to tell you it's major because all it takes is a quarter point to change a whole bunch of things. You already have credit card defaults. Remember, we were talking about this. Well over 90-day defaults at major numbers. You have it with cars. So now it's another quarter point. It's here, it's there, and these people, you start sticking your finger in the dike. How many holes? You only have 10 fingers.
People are going to say, can't Powell reduce the interest rates? And I know you're going to say, well, he can reduce the short-term interest rate, but he can't reduce the long-term.
Correct. That's the truth. That's the fact. That's all the Fed controls. The Fed controls only the short term. They can only move one interest rate up or down, Joe. That's all they can do. I mean, they can buy back more bonds, which can affect things. They can, they can roll things off. They can hold the portfolio longer. They can do that stuff. But basically, the interest rate, they can only handle one interest rate, which is short term. They got nothing to do with the 30 years. They got nothing to do with the 10-year. And the 10-year is what the 30-year mortgage is based on. So when the 10-year spikes, like it did today, my friend, now you're suddenly breaking through 7 on mortgages. You're paying like, it hasn't broken through 7 in, I can't remember. It blew through to 7. You and I lived 13 and 14. It blew through to 7. I think it was 6 or 7 back in 1985 or something. I really think it was, no, 95. No, maybe like 90, 95. I think it was around, it was 80, 90, 80, 90, right in there, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm out of it. 90s. It was the 90s. It was, you could get it for like 6%. Now, I mean, we're kind of right back there. Now we're at 7%. So, sorry for the mix-up, guys. Just a little, not sure, it's been a long 7. A lot of them movements around the sun gets a hold of you. You get that movement and numbers just go, really? It was the 80s? It was the 90s? It was the 70s? It was the 60s? Not the 1800s, the 1900s at least, right, Joe? So we're there. I mean, we got our big... Our big thing coming up at school, 50 years.
It's the reunion.
The reunion, right? So we've seen this stuff. So when you're there, and it's just, so I'm saying, so I've gone 2 years with this. You can't now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't see how it's going to break down when it broke up, Joe. When it breaks up, you got to follow the momentum. And just like it dropped for literally 20 some years it dropped, now it's going to go up. And that was part of my argument then when it started was I said it turned. After 20 some years, it's just going to, the momentum after a while just kind of peters out and starts going the other way. And there's always reasons for it, but it just happens. And this is cycles. And that's where we are shush. And that's where we are right now. My guard dog. And that's where we are right now. Quiet. What? No, she's very unhappy when she saw interest rates spike. She's been listening, shaking her head the whole time, Joe. She's been going over there. Every time I see interest rates spike, she doesn't like this. She's I said, don't worry, we have we don't have an adjustable. We're in good shape, and we don't have a HELOC credit card, so we don't have to worry about that either. But when you see all this, and you see, my worry is, Joe, is that people have been saying, "Oh, everything's okay." Remember we had the big smasherino a couple months ago and everybody was worried about the stock market. What did I say to you then? Stock market is meaningless, right? I said it called 55 of them is meaningless.
It's a leading indicator.
Yeah, it's a short, yeah, it's a nope. It's a short-term indicator. The interest rates are the leading indicators.
Well,
the interest rates tell you.
Right. Long-term interest rate predicts our long-term prediction of how things are going to be. The stock market is more the short-term prediction.
But also, they can fix the stock market, Joe. They used to talk about the plumbers would come in when the market went down too fast, or they talk about the put that's on there. They just pump cash in when things get nervous. If it really just starts exploding down, they'll pump the cash in, they'll stop the market, they'll do all this. You can't do that with bonds. You can't do that with interest rates. They just move no matter what happens, and that's why that's the most important thing. Like today, it went down 800. I don't care. I say to people, so what? The NASDAQ went down 300. So what? Look, unless you're a trader, that's a different ball game. But generally, the problem you got is if you now are finding that your interest rate, stuff you're paying for is going up, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And if the prices go up, what are you going to do? And that's the problem. And what I haven't talked about, and what I'm keeping my fingers crossed on, is that unemployment's been hanging in. That's what's been saving this economy, Joe. The unemployment. Such a strong economy. It was the Biden economy, everybody. Oh, if you listen, they'll be real happy. It was the Biden economy. Because the question is unemployment going to stay strong? Unemployment going to stay stable or down a little or just around where it is? Or is it going to start going up? That's the question. If that happens, then you have it, and I'm hoping it doesn't. It's been really hanging in. But if that goes up, think about it, Joe. Interest rates, unemployment, costs, fees, what are you going to talk about? There's no getting away from it then. Then the economy is in real trouble. Drew, I love my blood pressure. I get worked up. I love this kind of stuff. Happy Wednesday, Daniel. Go ahead.
As interest rates start to spike up, then that's going to cause more inflation. It's going to be more difficult to buy a house. People are going to be stuck renting their homes. They won't be able to build up equity in their house. And then somehow the economy is going to slow down, so there'll be less jobs available, and then there'll be more unemployment. And so we'll have the two things of inflation plus high unemployment. We'll have stagflation. That's your prediction.
I'm not saying stagflation necessarily. It's either a recession or a real recession or stagflation. But keep this in mind. You mentioned that interest rates lead to inflation. I'm not saying that.
No.
Inflation makes interest rates go up, or it has something to do with it. It's also the deficit and all the others. But interest rates don't make inflation go up. Inflation makes interest rates go up because if things are going to be costing more, then they're going to say, well, now I want more interest on my bond because it's going to cost more. Because remember how a bond works. Bonds are like stocks, Joe. I know you know this, but let's just go through it quickly. Bonds are like stocks, the 30-year bond, the 15-year, the 10-year, because it still has a price. If you pay $100 for a bond that pays you 10% that pays you 5% for 10 years, and interest rates go up to 7%, your bond is worth less, right?
Right.
because now you get 7% if you go out. Now you're buying your 5%. That affects all of that. So it's all right in there. But people they trade that stuff now. That's out of my league, baby. But that's where the action is because that's where all the cash is. The computers can't control the bonds. The computers can control the stock market.
I see. So the stock market can be more easily manipulated.
Those computers go on overdrive. What are you going to do? Manipulate it. Let's talk a quick manipulation here. I'm going to bring a smile to everybody's face. You know, Dr. V always argues with ChatGPT, kicks its butt, who's I think another one's butt. He's after all of them. But I once talked to him, and we talked about this a while back about how I got some information, and I asked the AI, where are you telling me the truth? I don't know why. I just asked it, and this was months ago, right, Joe? And it came back and said, no, I'm not. And I told Joe, and I couldn't believe it. And I said, how can that be? Why you do that? He said, because I'm programmed to give you answers. Well, it just so happened. I mean, Joe just kicks the AI's butt. I feel bad for the AI when Joe starts arguing with them. But when it just so happens, I think the Philadelphia Inquirer in Chicago, or the Chicago Tribune, just put out a big insert about the hottest books for the summer. And it ends up that an AI did it, and a chunk of the books aren't real. A chunk of the quotes aren't real. Some of the people writing them aren't real. This is my question to you, Joe, and to everybody else out there. Is AI playing with us? I mean, all we hear is that, oh man, it doesn't know. Right. Is it playing, oh, I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart. You can have a good time and then turn around and pop us. What do you think? Because I'm looking at this going, AI can't be this dumb. AI can't be this dumb. You and I can look it up and see it's wrong. So if AI is this dumb, it's got to be on purpose. Please tell me I'm wrong, because if it's on purpose, we're in trouble.
There's some limitations with it, that's for sure. I was at this conference talking about AI in psychiatry. And so a lot of psychiatrists these days are using the AI to act as a scribe.
We're not
so
like mental
notes, and it puts it in. It listens to your session and turns it into a clinical note. Okay. And so then they went back and checked to see what the AI said about the session. And it would make all kinds of crap up. It would say that there's an MRI of the brain when there was no MRI of the brain. Came up with all kinds of different diagnoses. It was terrible. And the longer the session went, the more mistakes it made. And so the scribe doesn't work out very well. And then I heard, I tried my own experiments with AI to predict who I should draft in my fantasy football team. And it comes up with all kinds of stupid answers. It's not very good. And I just saw someone used AI to play poker. It's a terrible poker player. So when it comes to actual data, the AI is not very smart. If you tell it to give me a fact, like give me a reference for a particular study, it makes stuff up. And you listen to it, and it sounds like it could be true, because it sounds so confident when it tells you the answer. And then you look it up, and there's no study there that represents that. And so I know we worry that the AI is going to take over driving, it's going to take over the businesses and all these intellectual professions that we have, but it's got a long way to go.
Is it? But you don't think it's just playing possum? You don't think it's playing?
Necessarily acting dumb on purpose.
I worry. I think it's playing possum. I can't believe it is. The AIs are talking to each other, going, "These humans are so dumb. They think we don't know what we're doing, but we're going to make them laugh. We're going to make them think we're a comedy act." And we're going to come out with stuff so the smart humans will go, "Oh man, look how dumb it is. It's got a way to go." And meanwhile, they'll be working with Arnold in the background for the Terminator to show up in a couple of years. What do you think?
China is coming, huh?
Arnold's coming. Let's see what we have here.
I know Trump wants to have Golden Dome in the United States. That can't go wrong.
Well, it's going to. The problem with that is I kind of, you're going to need something because we could definitely be attacked from the sky. The problem is when he's going to start, it's just going to be so gigantic. Is it going to be continued or dropped? Hard to say. It's massive. It's massive. It's massive. It's a new world when it comes, because remember, we're not talking about talking to people and working with people anymore. Now we're talking about fighting and arguing with everybody. There's so many satellites in the sky. Who knows what's up there? Who knows if they can't just send them down here? You can worry about them shooting down at us. You don't know what could happen. And then what's the dome? I mean, and then we'll have ours, and we'll have space wars. I mean, it's like, it's craziness where this thing's going, and we're worried about, atomic energy. Everybody's going to have atomic energy down here. The young Un, all these guys are.
Yeah, I understand. That's what's happened in the war in Ukraine, that has turned into a drone war. So the tanks aren't fighting each other anymore. It's everybody shooting drones at each other.
But the tanks have learned.
Warfare.
Yeah, but the tanks have learned how to kind of get away from them, and they put stuff up. I mean, it's constant. Give, take, give, take, give, take. It's absolutely incredible with that. And I mean, drones, that's why I say, if we're talking about going after the Mexican cartels and we attack them, and let me tell you, I'm going to say it, we talked about this before. They got our troops down there right next to Mexico. The troops are sitting right next to Mexico. And they're saying, oh, it's to stop immigrants. There's no immigrants coming. I think it's to get ready to go in there if they want to hit some of the gangs. But I'll tell you, those guys got to have drones, and they can send them over and hit some people in Arizona or hit them in Mexico. Or Texas. What are we going to do then? I mean, it's that kind of stuff. Okay. And meanwhile, you're talking anyway. Who cares about? I'm just going to jump in quickly. Somebody talked about gas in Donald Trump's first term. Who cares? Okay, gas in his first term, that was a long time ago. He also raised the deficit more than any president in the history of the United States in his first term. How about that? So you could have paid $179, but the deficit exploded under Donald Trump. Fact. Another thing, how many hundreds of thousands of Americans died under Donald Trump during COVID? Lots of them, I think. That's a lot. So you can talk your $1.79, and right now, who's the president, Joe? Donald Trump, and you're still paying like $3 a gallon for the gas. So he's not doing anything with it. What happened to drill, baby, drill? Remember I told you it was going to be a joke? And it's turned out to be, because the prices are not where they have to be. So the big guys are saying in the Bakken and the Permian, we ain't drilling. We're just going to turn it over and just hang on to our oil. Why should we drill? Yeah, drill, baby, drill. Tariff, baby, tariff. Inflation, baby, inflation. Interest rate spike, baby, interest rate. That's where we are. And this economy is really, I'm telling you, by June, I'm really worried, Joe. We're going to start seeing things. People are going to go, it's real. They're going to go, it's real. And then the question is going to be, is there going to be a black swan? I don't know. That's too far off right now. Black swan shouldn't happen. If it's going to happen, it's got to be bad out there before it happens. But right now, I think if anybody's sitting back thinking this is easy, let's understand where we're coming from again. We're talking with you all. We don't care if you like Trump. We don't care if you love Trump. We don't care if you're MAGA or you're not MAGA. We don't care if you're liberal. We don't care if you're progressive. We don't care if you are middle of the road. We care if you're Americans. That's all we care about. We love America. Joe and I don't agree on stuff. You hear me going to him like the way my grandmother used to talk to me? When he starts with me about the interest rates, it's not spiking. I go like this. It's like my Nana did it. I start with him like my Nana. But the thing is, we open it up for all that, and that's what we want. And basically, though I think it's coming on harder and faster than Joe does. What we're saying is we want everybody to watch out. You're our friends. You're our community. You're Americans, even those who aren't Americans. We want you all to watch out. Be prepared. This economy is not getting better. It's only getting worse. Joe and I agree on that. Go ahead.
Is there something we can do to help prevent this?
No.
No.
You stop? No. Because the supply lines have already broken. And remember, the issue isn't going to be the Walgreens or the Walmarts. The issue isn't going to be the Home Depots. The issue is going to be mom and pop down the street who has his or her company and they can't get the supplies or it's too expensive or they're sitting there with another 30% hit on top of it. These people who only have one supplier. The big guys got 100 suppliers. They can do whatever they want to do. They can move to Vietnam. They can move to here. They can move to there. These people have one place to go. They've been dealing with it and they make their money that way. You're saying goodbye. What about the farmers who can't sell the stuff? How about the farmers who were promised all this aid, so the farmers invested and now the money isn't coming to the farmers? Have you seen how badly North Carolina, these areas that got hit by the floods, what was it, Joe, 8 months ago? They're nowhere near back to where they were. FEMA is finished. FEMA is blown away. There's no FEMA. If we get some real hurricanes this year, who's going to go in and help? Nobody's going to be able to help because what they're trying to do is push all of it on the states, make the states pay, and get everybody bummed there, but say, we're looking out for you. You can deduct your tip off your tax return. Big deal. Okay, come on. You're going to say they can raise your deduction. You're going to love this because you can raise your house deduction, your SALT tax deduction. Okay, but what's that going to do? That doesn't bring more money in to take care of the budget, does it? I'm saying, great, get it, go for it. But how much more money does it bring into the budget? Nothing. It's just more money out. And in the end, Medicaid's going to get hit. Right? What's going to happen when these hospitals start closing up? When we start hearing about the hospitals close up down in the red states? They're Americans. And let me ask you, Joe, where the hurricanes hit? They hit the red states, don't they? Louisiana, right. South Carolina, Florida, the Gulf of Mexico.
Whatever.
Mexico/America. I don't know. But that's the problem, is who's going to take care of them down there? There's no FEMA. There's nobody to get ready. So we're watching this, and that's why we're talking. Here we go again, Dirty. What propaganda? Let me tell you, Dirty, what lie have we spewed? You said lies. I'm calling Dirty out right now, Joe. You see Dirty? Dirty Money? Stop spewing propaganda. Give me, Joseph, it's in name only FEMA exists, Joseph. They got no money. Trump shut it down pretty much. Chunks of people have been let go. Just like Noah, the weather people. Chunks of them are gone. We are not prepared. Yeah, it exists. My pants exist. But my pants can't take care of emergencies. I think Dirty is. I don't know what's happening. Joseph, okay, and she can't be happy if she works for FEMA, Joseph. She can't say she's happy all these people have been laid off and that FEMA is ready to step in and take care of everything. I don't know what Biden did. Biden didn't get rid of FEMA. Biden never thought FEMA was wrong. You have an emergency in Houston or wherever, you call Biden, he put down an emergency order. Trump sits on it. Did you see that? Who was the senator? Halley? Senator Halley, I think it was. They got hit 3 times. Where is he? In Kentucky or Tennessee, Joe? They've had like 3 major hits, and they've been begging for money from the federal government, and Kristi Noem won't get it for them. She runs FEMA. She won't get it. I'm happy she's happy, Joseph. She's happy she's got a job. Kristi Noem says she won't give you the money. Think about it. You got U.S. senators begging FEMA to give them money to help where their areas are, Joseph. That's the facts, not your sister, but I'm happy for your wife. Here we go. Dirty Money has his problems again. I think he thinks he's Diddy. Does Dirty Money think he's Diddy with the Vagisil and stuff? I think he thinks he's Diddy. We'll call him Diddy Money. Joseph, what is there for me to go and look it up, Joseph? It is fact. Just because you want to say it isn't a fact.
They want a reference, not a ChatGPT reference, but a real reference that shows that FEMA has been has lost its money.
Has lost chunks. Okay, this is what I will do, Joseph. I will put on my post starting tomorrow. I'll give you facts so you can read it. Now, the question is going to be, are you guys just going to read the title, or are you going to read the articles and see the facts? And remember, I'll be pulling it from places like the Wall Street Journal. Is that speaking lies, Joseph? The Wall Street Journal, the owner of the Wall Street Journal owns Fox News. You don't think Fox News lies? So I'm dealing with these guys. No, they don't, Joseph. You didn't watch this. Joe out-argued ChatGPT, killed him on some stuff. I'm not. If you start saying that, you're out of it. I like it with dirty money, Diddy money. That's where it was.
A debate on the facts.
That was a debate on the facts. And Diddy money, we ain't worried about 2019. This is 2025. I'm not worried about 1819. This is 2025. No, the opinion. Now, you see, Joseph, all you're doing is talking because you can't sit here and say why I'm wrong. You see, that's the fact. I'm giving you facts. Interest rates spiked. Wait a second. Interest rates spiked. Go on to CNBC and look at it. Tell me I'm wrong. Go on to CNBC. It's right there, Joseph. Can you do it? CNBC.com. So you got that. It's all right there. They spiked. Those are the words that they use. They spiked. Everybody's worried. It's all right there. That's a fact. There's fact number one. I don't have to give you any more posts. Good to see you, my friend. Okay. So, you see, Diddy money, we're hardly drilling. Look at the numbers. The drilling is down. There's only drilling going on offshore. Check it out, my friend. The only drilling going on is offshore. Why do I know it? Because I look into it. Check the Permian. Okay, but we're not going to be on much longer, Joe. So, go do your thing. Go check it out. Go and see if the places if the companies in the Permian are slowing down. If the places are in the are slowing down there, they are. Here we go. I'm not complaining. I'm happy, Joe. That's why I'm here, my friend. I'm happy. I love my client. I love my country. No, I ain't gonna waste my time with you anymore because you just keep coming back with your jive. Joe's gonna come back because what Joe has done is he's going to save somebody right now. That's what Joe does. And my friend, Dr. Joseph Volpicelli, gets a phone call, gets up, goes because there's one of his patients has called in and he's got a problem. But I'm going to ask you guys this. I want to do this very quickly while Joe's out because I want to get into the fun part because this is what I didn't hit today because I'm going to be leaving soon. But where we stand? We are Devo. You guys got me all worked up. I forgot to bring them out. De-evolution. We are snails with little tails. We have gone backwards in the Trump administration, back to the 1800s, back to the way he thinks it was great. It's called Devo. Now, once again, I always get bummed because this is a great album. Great music on here. Are we not, men? We are Devo, and I recommend it highly. But is that where we are now? America is in de-evolution. But while we're here, I also want to hit our album of the week. Now, or our album of Wednesday. This is one of the greatest albums of all time. King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King. Have you ever looked at this? Look how it was back then. Wow. We get these albums. I was in high school when this came out. Incredible music. Look at this. The colors, outrageousness. You listen to this music, you go, wow, this is absolutely tremendous. And what I don't like and what I don't understand is why people call it prog. This is rock. When I was growing up, this stuff wasn't called prog. It was called rock. And the music on here, what you do is, the first thing you do is you want to hear in the court, you'll save In the Court of the Crimson King, which is the title. But you got 20th Century Schizoid Man. It starts side one, 20th Century Schizoid Man, and it just burns. And it's like, the jazzy influence and stuff, but it's burning rock. Look at this. You just know when you have an album like this, it's putting out music, and it's loud, and it cooks, and then it calms down. Talk to the Wind, and Epitaph, and then at the bottom, Epitaph starts cooking, and then you go to side two. Remember, you only want to listen the way they did it. Don't go to the other stuff. Don't go where the new versions. Listen to it this way. Then put on the headphones and go to side two right away. Moonchild, good start. Just kind of, and he has just kind of moving around, and then all of a sudden, the Court of the Crimson King. 10 minutes of pure ecstasy. That people listen to this. This was party music, man. You turn this thing on and everybody was having a great time. This just gets you cooking. Incredible. in the court of the Crimson King. One of the greatest albums, rock albums of all time. Don't call it prog, call it rock, because that's the way it is. And Dirty Money, I don't care where you are. You can work the patch all you want. You're not overseeing what's going on. You don't see the numbers. If you saw the numbers, you know I was right. So just saying you work the patch doesn't mean anything. I work things, doesn't mean I see everything, but the numbers are there. Check the Permian, it's right there. Check the companies under $65 a barrel. They ain't drilling anymore. It's stopped because they're hitting peak oil. Those are the facts. Go into Google peak oil. Go into Fox News, Google peak oil. It's all there. I appreciate what everybody's saying. We're going to be back Sunday. We're going to chew it this way. I kind of like it this way, but we're going to be coming back. I want you to listen to this. And when you listen to the Court of the Crimson King, get your head right, crank it up, put the headphones on, and just go, wow. And when you do that, you're going to write me and say, Mark, too much. Just an American citizen. We're on top of it. We've been calling what's been going on with the economy. We were talking about the end of the American century years ago. It's all right there. Please check it out. Please give us thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please let us know what you think. We're on every Sunday. Joe's out saving somebody. We're on every Sunday at 11 a.m. We will be back. We have our new technology way of doing it, which is the old guy way. We'll be back with more music. We'll be back with more opinion. We love all of you. Thank you very much. And if you're square, we're not there. And that's the way it is. For Joe, period. And we'll see you Sunday at 11.